I appreciate the opportunity to present today to so many bar leaders, and I want to thank you all for your leadership. And it's fun to see folks on this meeting today that I've worked with in the past in some voluntary bar capacities, and folks that I know from Tallahassee and other places. It's an exciting year for the foundation, and I am privileged to be able to bring to you some information and give you some information as well about how you can support us if you choose to. So first of all, what is the foundation? Despite the name of the foundation, we are not a nonprofit that in any way is supporting the work of the Florida Bar. We don't raise money for the Florida Bar's programs, and we are not an arm of the Florida Bar. The Florida Bar Foundation is actually created by the Supreme Court, and we are a nonprofit that directly raises money and distributes money for legal services and legal aid around the state. And that's a very small summary of it. The foundation supports the work of legal aid and legal services in all of your communities in some primary ways. I want to summarize. The first one that you're probably most familiar with is the IOTA program. So the interest on trust accounts that lawyers keep for clients is directly directed to the Florida Bar Foundation for purposes of supporting direct legal services in the state of Florida. That money is collected by the foundation and is audited. We audit the banks. We work with the banks on all of that. And then the money is sent out to, it used to be in the form of grants. This year we're making some changes, and that money is going out just on a kind of a pro rata basis to the various, we call them grantees, but they're mostly your legal aid and legal services groups around the state. There's also some statewide groups that we support, such as Florida Children's First, the Innocence Project. There are others that you might be familiar with. We also support pro bono work around the state. I'd like to give a shout out to and thank Sally MacArthur for bringing up the public service aspect of professionalism. The Florida Bar historically has supported pro bono programs all throughout the state. Our most recent effort that seems to be really helping out, and we get great feedback from it, is a website called Pro Bono Matters. You could find that at probonomatters.org. If you or your section or your local bars are interested in taking a pro bono case, there is this one centralized place you can go to and pull them up. There's a nice summary of the cases, where they're from, if you want to take one in your area, or in this age of remote work that we have, you could pick up a case in a totally different area in the state. And that gives you a summary of the case. Is it a child custody case? What is it? And you can make a quick determination of picking up one that interests you. We also give out grants where we get the money from other sources, private donations, Cypre awards, class action settlements. For instance, there was a huge class action settlement, Bank of America, following the real estate mortgage issues that happened a couple of years ago, and a large settlement fund was directed to the foundation, and we awarded the grants for community development work. So getting back to how the sections play into this, and I'm going to share my screen, because historically the sections have been a big part of the private donation aspect of our work. How do I share my screen? Make sure I get this. Here we are. All right. Is that on now? Okay. So this is, can you all see this now? Okay.
Can it be a little larger?
Okay, sure. Let's see if we can do that. it's really large on my screen.
Okay.
This is also in the chat under section division gifts.
Does that make it larger on your end?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a historical chart of giving by each section. It is, it is from the beginning of when, and I don't know how long ago, I don't know how far it goes back, but it is, if your section has ever contributed to the foundation, this is our record of it. You'll note that there are, I believe we're up to 20 or 21 sections in Florida Bar. There are only 17 sections that are recorded here. If your section, if you know you've given to the Florida Bar Foundation and you're not shown here, please let us know, because we want to make sure we're keeping an accurate record. Giving, there is no amount that is too small. Every amount counts. Also know that you can direct your giving. If you would like to direct your giving, your section wants to give to a particular program. Do you want to support pro bono programs? You can restrict your gift that way. Do you want to support children's legal services? You can request that your gift be directed that way. We do have, I know some of you, I know my section, and by the way, I'm the chair-elect of the administrative law section. So I'm here doing training as well as speaking to you guys about the foundation. Some of the sections have some significant fund balances right now. I know our section does. There was when the stock market was high, the Florida Bar distributed some good returns to the sections, and we have a significant fund balance that we're going to be making some decisions about this year how to spend. So you may want to look at that in your section and see if you'd like to support the work of the Florida Bar Foundation. I do have one other one I want to share that I just got. Not that one. Let's get out of that. All right. Can you all see this one now? So this is just the record of what has been given from the sections just last year and thus far in 2022. So, there's some sections have much larger budgets than others and much larger membership. So they can give larger amounts, but the smaller gifts add up. So I just wanted to let you know that, so combining the sections giving from last year, was over $82,000. And that, just that amount of money, we could fund two law school civil clinics, depending on the size of grants that they needed. But given what we've given out historically, almost two complete law school civil clinics. The amount of money that the Florida Bar Family Law section has given this year and gave last year will fund 15 LRAP grants. Those are grants that we give to attorneys who work at legal aid and legal services corporation offices in the state to help them repay their student loans. And those are $5,000 grants that are given, and they do have to, of course, commit to continue that work. But that family law contribution of $75,000 would fund 15 of those grants. So I just wanted to make sure we translate it into information that you could use. And, it's sometimes we ask for money and people really want to know, where's it going? What's it going to do? How can I help? So I hope that information is useful, and I'm happy to take questions. I haven't been looking in the chat. Let's see. Uh-oh. Now I hear somebody who's having trouble hearing me. All right. I've increased my volume. Sorry about that. Are there any questions or comments about the work of foundation, gifts?
Judge, do you want to tell people about the fellows program that the foundation has? Because it's an easy way to get involved.
Sure. Thank you for that. Yes, you can become a fellow and individually become a fellow of the Florida Bar Foundation with your pledge of $1,000 to the foundation. Depending on how you're employed, you may be able to pay that over time. If you're a public employee, you can pay it. I believe it's over 5 years. I think it used to be over 10 years. So I apologize for not knowing the specific time, but I, right when I got out of school, I joined as a fellow, and I think I got 10 years to pay my $1,000 with my $21,000 salary working for the state when I first started. It is a wonderful way to support the foundation and become a fellow, and then later on, if you want to contribute more, you can increase to go up to the bronze level. But we'd love to have you as a fellow, and groups can become fellows as well. Any other questions or comments? We're ahead of schedule. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, and for all thank you for your presentation, and thank you for all the services that you for our Bar Foundation does for our community and for the state of Florida. To the extent that our sections can contribute and help, is there a process that for contributing, or is there that you should be aware of?
So if your section would like to contribute, obviously you need to make sure you have that money in your budget and it's in the appropriate line item. And then your section liaison should be able to help you get that donation made. I honestly, when I was treasurer of our section, we took the vote, we made it happen, and then our section liaison, because they are where the magic happens, just made it happen. There may be somebody with the Florida Bar on this call that can answer that question more specifically.
Okay. And what about and helping out with the pro bono services? Should they work direct? Can they contact you directly, or is it more through local services that are going on?
So if you're interested in picking up a pro bono case, you do not need to contact the Florida Bar Foundation. Like I said, you could go straight to floridaprobonomatters.org. It's actually just probonomatters.org. And all of the cases that are awaiting an attorney to pick up a case are there, prominently displayed with, what type of case it is and a summary. When you click on that, it will put you in touch with the organization that posted it. So it might be a legal services or a legal aid organization in your area. It might be in another area. That's the quickest way to get involved. If you want to support, if you want to make a donation to support, we have to pay to keep that website up and continue posting. So if you want to support it, you can always do that with a donation as well.